back up to...
Oh, we do need to mug for a couple of minutes. A couple of seconds, really.
Mug. First, I'm going to clap.
Do I need to clap?
No, not really. Okay, great. So mugging.
Mug. All right, that's probably enough mugging.
Okay.
Weird shit that we do. I've noticed though, the more like YouTube, this has made me like a YouTube watcher, all of this. And
Yes.
people work the need for a thumbnail into their own YouTube videos. Like they will say it, like I've seen several creators be like, all right, like especially people who are like reviewing things, like if they're doing like an unboxing video or if they're like reviewing food, they'll like hold the food up to the camera or hold the thing and they're like, all right, gotta take stupid thumbnail.
Okay, yeah.
And like they make it a part of their broadcast every time. So
that's funny.
We can start being like, all right, Matt, it's time to thumbnail.
It's on the thumbnail. Why did you do that when you did that? I did the same thing.
Do what? Perfect. I think we just got our thumbnails.
Thumbnail in the dark. Thumbnail in the dark. Thumbnail in the dark.
And then as a DM, my latest hyperfixation, because I have been DMing more and more, has been around finding, especially because I've been doing mostly one-shots, like finding the right balance of combat to role-playing. And I haven't hit that stride yet. I'll report back. We have 2 more one-shots coming up for our lovely patrons this weekend. I felt like after last month's one-shots, I really ran y'all through a marathon. Like I got through those sessions and I was like out of breath. And so I was like, maybe I did too much. Maybe I tried to put too much on y'all and didn't give you enough time to be a part of the story.
Yes.
So I'm trying really hard with this weekend's one-shots to make sure that the focus is on y'all and not on all of the stuff I want to ram in your faces.
That means so many things.
Pow.
Pow. Pow. Ooh, wow. I just cracked my neck.
No.
Ooh. I just rammed myself in the head. Oh man, the balance.
Never there.
It's tough. Yes, I'm definitely going. I have a huge chunk of my glorious off-grid get to all the things I don't ever give myself time to do. Time to kind of ingest a bunch of videos that I found on building the perfect one-shot because I would very much like to go to conventions next year and be a game master. So I want them to be bad as hell.
Bad as hell. Everybody's making everything up. Come on,
everybody's
man.
making everything up. Did you know, side note, did you know that if you get a concussion, it's a myth that you should not sleep?
Really?
Yeah, that is a myth. Speaking of sleep. Yes.
So are you planning on getting a concussion?
I'm going to get a concussion tomorrow.
Do not whisper that into the universe, okay?
I'm not whispering that. I am not getting a concussion tomorrow. I'm definitely not. But yeah, it's a myth. There's so many things that they don't know or they have known, and we're gonna laugh and laugh and laugh someday.
Lately, then I think this is a symptom of my woo-woo streak.
Okay.
If I am having a bad dream, I am able to pull myself out of it. I am able to recognize from within the dream that I am having a dream, and I am able to say, Allison, wake up.
Yeah.
And that's nice to be able to do that. I wish I could just not have the bad dream in the first place. I don't think I told you this one. I had a dream last week that you just told me you didn't like me anymore.
Did you get out of it?
Yes. I instantly in the dream, I was like, this is a dream. This is not real. Matt would not say that. Wake up. And I literally woke it was you and me and Fitz. We were traveling somewhere and there was like something divided us and you were mad at me. You were angry, like viscerally so. And you were just like, the thing is, I just don't even like you anymore. Like, I don't want you here. And from within my dream, I said, wake up.
Nice.
So
good.
But that will wake me up, and then I'll be thinking about it when I have, like, if I have a, don't make fun of me, if I have a scary dream, which I do have scary dreams.
Yeah.
I will recognize. So anyways, and then it's like, good luck getting back to sleep. There's no way.
Sure.
But I get mechanically why you would, in a fantasy game. And that's something I feel like we are constantly flirting with is this, it's fantasy. It's all made up anyways. You and Evan and Fitz and I have talked at length about like y'all's feelings on long rests or death or spells. And I'm like, but in what world is a fighter walking up and, doing the thing that a fantasy fighter, monk, paladin, like it's all made up. Like none of it's just because like we have a better understanding of what it is to walk up and punch somebody versus like walk up and cast a spell on somebody. It's all made up.
I know, but and you also know that we're simply speaking as older players, that the game was not as video game-y back in the day. Yeah. And there's every possible reason for this tabletop game to become video gamed, right?
Yep.
A little bit here and there, right? It has to.
But that it's interesting that you bring that up because that's something that actually drives me crazy. And I wish I could have played this game more before video games because, we talk a lot about like the old school Renaissance. We talk a lot about the differences between the various versions of D&D, right? Yeah. And you have said in the past that like, in my day, you weren't as emotionally wound up in character creation. You kind of always had various versions waiting in the wing. It wasn't so much a focus on story, or it wasn't so much a focus on the role playing. It was more dungeon crawl, shoot and loot kind of stuff. I actually have run into that has become problematic in some games that I have played where I feel like players they don't want to tell the story. They get, grumpy if they don't get hordes of gold and they,
Interesting.
And it makes me as a DM mad. And I like, and I shouldn't be mad about, again, it's all fantasy. It's supposed to be fun, but I'm like, no, and I realize every table is different and everybody has a different style of play and nobody's right and nobody's wrong. Right. So there's going to be the people who want to, kill and then loot the corpses and then move on to the next thing they can kill and loot, rinse, repeat, collect the bounty at the end and move on. But I do wonder how much of that I'm like, then go play a video game is honestly my response to that. You don't need a table full of players if that's now. I love to be a shiny, gremlin in our games and get the loot. I'm not saying the act of wanting cool stuff is bad. I'm just saying it's not the only focus for me. So anyways, sorry. Rant.
Tangent. It's true.
But I do, yeah.
It is true. And we do knock 5e sometimes, but I have said many times as well, I love that it is a better storytelling vehicle than Days of Old. I was going to say something. Right. Something that you said made me then think of the truths about the 5e mechanic. I certainly do not wake up with all of my hit points healed and my spell slots filled, emptied. I do not do that. But there is a unbelievable difference in 7.5 to 8 hour sleep, Matt, and 4 to 6, especially if it's, multiple days of not sleeping. It is incredible the difference in my abilities to do anything. My actual ADHD is far more pronounced if I don't get enough sleep. I am crabby. I am tired. I my willpower is less. So it does heal some things.
I just had it. So I don't think I've ever needed a full 8. Like in college, I was fine on like 4 hours. I was out. But here's what it's the uninterrupted rest that I require in order to function. So if I have a late night, if I don't go to bed until midnight, 1 o'clock, and sometimes that's just a weekend for me. That's one thing I know that I should do, but don't, is have a consistent bedtime. I'm all over the place. It's anywhere between
that's another one.
10:30 and 1. If I go to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning on a Friday or a Saturday night because I don't have anything to do tomorrow and I don't need to be up at any particular time, I will still more than likely wake up around the same time.
Yeah.
I will still wake up at 7. And I will be fine with that 6 hours of sleep.
Interesting. Okay.
Versus
that's not the case for me.
If I go to bed at 10:30, wake up at 12:30, am awake until 2, fall back asleep until 4:30, sleep until 5:30, go back to sleep at 5:30, sleep until 8:30. Cumulatively, over the span of 9 hours, I've still gotten 6 hours of sleep that way, but I feel like hot garbage. So for me, it's almost better to stay up late and then sleep 6-7 hours straight than it is for me to take 10 hours and try and jam 7 hours of sleep in there.
Interesting.
Interesting. Bodies are so weird, man.
Bodies are so weird. They're so weird. We don't know anything about them. The other amazing thing about this podcast is like all the stuff that we have learned in the time that we've done this, and then the unbelievable element that there's so much we have no idea.
Good night, little Alison. I'll be watching your sleep time underneath this dark bed. You will know that I'm always here.
Good night.
No lie, I very specifically bought my bed. There is no way to get under my bed.
Oh no!
I have put that safeguard in my life, IRL, to make sure that there is physically no boogeyman. He can get into my closet, but he cannot hide under my bed. I've just listened to too many scary stories as a teen where something was lying in wait under the bed.
One more thing that we probably will cut, but just one more thing. Do you ever have sleep paralysis?
No, the opposite.
I don't either.
Because I think you've talked about Lindsay.
Lindsay has had it a lot in her past. She also has the ability to get out of a dream like you're discovering. So I think when she realized that she did have lucid dreaming powers, they stopped. But, they've long proven that sleep paralysis and seeing things are not actual demons or witches or shadows or anything. But I can imagine, wow, I wonder if there's something about ADHD that we don't have those. I don't know that I can't remember ever having one, but it would be terrifying.
I don't I don't sleepwalk in terms of leaving the room, but I have definitely stood up on the bed or sat myself up, carried out a conversation with somebody, and then flopped myself back on the pillow because of what I'm dreaming.
Okay. Interesting. Oh man. I just had a great idea for a one shot where those things were real.
Let's go
right now.
Let's freaking
That's when a long rest would not be a long rest, is when the dark man is visiting your nightmares. Okay. I love it.